All right, hi guys. So this week we are talking about the differences between two-dimensional art and three-dimensional art. So hopefully you took a look at the slides, and we already talked about how 2D art only has two dimensions, so it's flat. It's got height and it's got width, but it doesn't have depth. You couldn't hold it in your hand. 3D art, something like sculpture, like weaving, has height, width, and then depth, so you can hold it in your hand. And this week we are going to be making our own little sculptures, and we're going to eventually turn these into ornaments that we can hang on our tree. So before I get started, I want to talk about a list of materials that you could possibly use for the base. So I have popsicle sticks here today, and I've just done a little dot of glue in each of the corners to glue them together. You can kind of lay these out however you want. If you want to make a square, a triangle, I made a little snowflake. If you don't have popsicle sticks at home, as in the picture in the next slide, you could always go outside and find a great stick that you could break into pieces. I think that would look really lovely and kind of rustic on your Christmas tree if you used actual sticks from outside. We honestly just don't have very big trees around the school where I am right now, so I just use popsicle sticks in my classroom, but I think that a stick or a tree branch would actually be a little bit nicer. Another thing that I found in my classroom that I could use if you aren't able to locate any branches, you don't have any popsicle sticks, is if you happen to have some pipe cleaners, and I found this really pretty gold one. So I just kind of twisted them together in a similar layout as my popsicle sticks. All right, so once I have whatever base I'm choosing to use, my next step is going to be to find something decorative to wrap around the edges to make it look like it's sort of tied together. Now, of course, if you don't have liquid glue at your house to glue your sticks or your popsicle sticks onto each other, you can use the string to just tie it together. But that's kind of the look we're going for, even though mine is glued. So again, you can choose any shape that you want. And then however you choose to tie your ribbon material is up to you. So if you have some leftover Christmas ribbon at your house, that would work great. Some baker's twine is what's in the picture on the next slide, some black and white baker's twine. That would be beautiful. That's kind of rustic. All I was able to find in my classroom was some pieces of colored yarn. So I have a really bright green and a really bright red. I thought that would be kind of fun. And the way that you wrap it together is also kind of up to you, but you want to keep in mind that we're going to make a little loop for hanging it so that you can use it as an ornament. So here's how I'm going to do that. I am going to make a little loop. I'm folding my piece of string in half. I am running it through the middle of my ornament and then back up through itself like that. I can just tie this in a simple little square knot, so how you tie your shoes, or you could ask a really kind grown-up to help you tie this. And I'm just going to tie a little knot in the top so that it's not going to come undone, and then maybe I'll trim off my little fringes. And then I have a little loop for hanging it on my tree. Okay. So there's my loop at the top, but I want to wrap these other corners so they look kind of nice and festive and like my popsicle sticks have been tied together. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to lay my yarn across the intersection. This is kind of how I wrap presents too. So I'll turn it over and I should have both ends coming through on the other side. I'm just going to cross those over each other and twist them until it looks like this. And then I can tie those together on the front, and you could either make a bow. If you have some really long twine, you might want to wrap it around several times. I could even wrap this back around the back, tie it off again, and then the front of my ornament just has kind of a nice little double knot on it. So it should kind of look like that on the front, and I could either trim these ends off, or if I kind of like them, I can leave them. And I'm just going to do that on all of my corners. Now, if I had kind of a different shape, I might want to be a little bit more thoughtful about how I'm wrapping my yarn. So if I had like a star shape, I might just wrap it through all of the spaces until it kind of looks like it's been tied together. Now, of course, just like I said, if you don't have liquid glue at home, you could actually tie your sticks together. So if I'm going to finish this one off, I think I will tie it in a knot, and then I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other one, and I'm going to tie a big loop up here with a little square knot at the top, or even a bow, so that I have a little loop to hang it from my Christmas tree with. Now, if you want to go a step further, if you're using popsicle sticks, of course, if you're using sticks from outside, I think those are just really lovely by themselves. You could always paint them or something like that, but they look kind of beautiful and natural just being left alone. But if you're using something like popsicle sticks and you want to take it one step further, you could always grab a marker and decorate these. If I really wanted to, carefully, I could cut some little notches into my popsicle sticks on the side so that it kind of looks like a snowflake. It's really up to me how I want to decorate these, but we hope that you enjoy making something a little bit different this week, making something 3D, and then maybe gifting it to a family member or a friend, or hanging it up on your own tree and just enjoying your three-dimensional sculpture work. So we hope you guys have fun. We can't wait to see what you make, and hope you have a happy holiday season with your family, however you're celebrating. Bye.